different interests, different pressure groups in the UN. My colleagues in DIRCO always criticize the inefficiency. The bank has its own strategy for 2017-2029, and this strategy defines as the priority goals financing of projects for creating sustainable infrastructure in the sphere of transport, green energy, energy efficiency, housing and public utility sector, and city development. This is about 2/3 of all the bank projects. There's a conservative scenario which says that by the year 2021, the project portfolio of the bank aggregate will constitute about 15 billion US dollars. The optimistic scenario is about $19 billion.
Time when all heads are being lost around us, to quote Kipling, Russia and its fellow BRIC members might be amongst those world leaders who are able to keep theirs. Thank you.
Believe me, we always keep our heads cool. Whatever happens, whatever pressure we come under, whatever sanctions we receive from any part of the world, we always react adequately, not allowing to go to the above the limit to the confrontation. We know only too well what confrontation means, and we are always open to the dialogue. And if you listen to what our leaders say, I mean President Putin and Minister of Foreign Affairs Lavrov, we always call even those countries who are quite hostile to Russia for different reasons, and I mean there are some Western countries, they're still our partners. As a communist, I think you should know a note. I don't know whether it was true or is it an anecdote. When in 1956, after the events in Hungary, János Kadar, who was the Secretary General of the Hungarian Communist Party, was summoned to Moscow and castigated for what had happened and how he lost Hungary and lost control and all this stuff. And the legend goes that he answered, well, these are the only Hungarians I have. I mean, we all live together in this small world, which can be easily disrupted and destroyed. So it's always better to cooperate and to talk than to go to a war. And if you remember the very bitter episode with Turkey bringing down our military aircraft, well, we reacted quite strongly, but in the end we found a common language, and now we are working together with Turkey and with Iran on the resolution of the Syrian matter. First, the summit was a real success. South African chairship of BRICS was quite inventive and active, and we cooperated very well there. So the leaders agreed on a very substantive declaration covering a wide range of matters. Also, there was some movement forward in terms of economic cooperation within the BRICS format. But coming back to your accent on African countries, on the South African initiative, 21 countries was invited to participate in meetings with the BRICS leaders, out of whom majority were from Africa, from SADC, and they had a real good and substantive conversation on the wide range of issues, also involving African problems. In practical terms, what might be of interest to Africa is the activities of the BRICS New Development Bank, which has its office. The African Regional Center opened in Johannesburg in 2017, and it should be cooperating in the first place, of course, with South African business people and developmental institutions. But in the course of time, it is quite possible that the financing which NDB gives for the projects, and these should be mostly the projects of infrastructural and developmental nature, can spill out to other countries of the region as well. The portfolio, the volume of financing for the project portfolio is estimated to be about 14 billion American dollars by the year 2020, and the goal for annual portfolio is to have it 7 to 8 billion. So we do hope that in the course of time there could be some collective projects of benefit to Africa, to other African countries as well. The trade between Russia and South Africa is not as big as we would like it to have, so it presents a lot of opportunities to us. South Africa has a very good position with regard to the Russian trade, in the sense that you produce a lot of things which we do not produce, like tropical fruits or very nice wines, some of which do find their way to the Russian markets, but I think we can have much more of those. In November of this year, we are planning to have a meeting of our bilateral trade and economic committee in Moscow, and a meeting of the business council in the margins of this meeting. So there we shall be discussing a wide variety of issues pertaining exactly to the question you're raising. The issues are plenty. I myself am trying to do more for increasing the trade and economic cooperation. I go to provinces and talk to the ministers responsible there for economical cooperation. Just last week I was in KZN, and we were speaking exactly about the possibility of increasing export of fruits, but also about tourism, which is an important business actually, and it is getting easier now with no visa regime between our two countries. Many other things like shipbuilding, cooperation in many high-tech areas, in agricultural technology and techniques. So opportunities are plenty. So it's a matter of sitting down together and moving it forward. This is a very correct question, reflecting the true necessity of our cooperating closer together on this. And BRICS has elaborated a number of formats, like Youth Forum, Academic Forum, Civil Forum, Young Scientists Forum. There is a BRICS Film Festival, BRICS Sporting Games. There is a BRICS organized mathematic kind of Olympic Games for school children, in which we expect up to 1 million children to participate. So there are a number of mechanisms, and I think we should do more and more efforts to make sure exactly what you've mentioned in the question, that people in the street would know what BRICS, would better know what BRICS is about, and actually felt the benefits.